Alrighty, first stream of the post-Christmas week. Although I did one on Sunday night, which was Boxing Day. Did I? It can be so hard to keep track of things that do and don't happen. All I know is I've had 2 days off work, and so time means even less than normal, having been off work for 2 weeks. For 4 days. See? Time doesn't mean anything. 2 weeks probably popped into my head because I'm going to do 3 days at work this week. Then I'm taking 2 weeks off. Then I really won't know what fucking time is what. But I did some interesting stuff, planning some very different stuff for my cocktail channel. And I might be doing some interesting stuff soon. We'll see. Hello, Megaleech, by the way. If I didn't say hello, that you got your early hello in. I starting my evening with a rum old-fashioned. Oh, that is fine. Oh, it's got it going on, that one. One of my bottled cocktails that are in the fridge. And I just made a massive amount, like twice as much, more than twice what I should have made of a beverage called Swedish Punch. But it's supposed to be super, super good. So I hope it is, because I'm going to be drinking it for a while. I miscalculated and made a lot of it. It's another rum-based thing, actually. So we shall see what that's like. I might shoot some background video for that tonight. I've finished it, and you meant to let it sit for a day, for 24 hours before tasting it. So I might do the official tasting and maybe make a cocktail with it on Thursday night. But I might shoot some background video for it tonight. I need to make a breakfast martini, to do a short for a breakfast martini tonight. And I was going to put the cocktail gear on, but I don't know I can be asked doing that for a 60-second cocktail. I might do it in a cocktail shirt. We shall see how that works out anyway. Man, that tastes pretty darn good. Tasting the an old fashioned is very simple, spirit, sugar, bitters, and this is actually, there's a couple sorts of rum in this. I don't actually remember specifically which rums I put in. I know I put in more than one rum though, and the sugar syrup I made was made with brown sugar and chai and cinnamon and cherry, and all those flavors are coming through. It's really nice. Very good. Making another lemon lime sugar syrup new. So that should be good as well. Be ready tomorrow, probably. Got to let the sugar absorb all the goodness out of the citrus. And then add a little bit of water, just enough to dissolve the sugar. And then have a nice zesty sugar syrup, zingy sugar syrup. Good base for lemonade too when you make that. As in non-alcoholic lemonade. You could make it an alcoholic lemonade as well. A hard lemonade. What was that? Mike's Hard Lemonade was around a few years ago. And now, of course, what's it? It's all those... they're trying to somewhere between make the Alka Pops look tougher and give them a bit more cred, because the Alka-Pops, the alcoholic sodas, have been around for years, and they were, aimed at teenagers, basically. But things like White Claw and whatnot in the last couple of years seem to have reasonably successfully been moving the alcoholic sodas up market a bit. I just make cocktails, basically. Hello. See, we could have occasional requests for cocktails. Or is that why you're in here, or just in here for something else? Making your dessert. Woodson and Ford. Okay. Making cocktails. Just for, household members. I said, I'm sitting here doing stuff. If they wanted a cocktail, come in and ask, and I'll make one. So, Woodson and Ford. Got to get the appropriate glass. This and get this. So I'm just topping up another fridge. I'm going to get a Jeebus, so I know how much I'm putting in. So, it's another fridge one I've got to get. All right. Okay. Little bit of this and a little bit of that, as Fatboy Slim would say. You probably don't even want it particularly cold, do you? I mean, half of it's been in the fridge. I could shake it with ice, but you don't like things that cold anyway. And make it a very deep cherry color. And if you get me a skewer, I'll put a cherry in it for you. We're both quite fond of the Luxardo cherries. Any excuse to put a Luxardo cherry in a drink. Ooh, I got one straight away. That was reasonably surprising. Put that in there. There's your cherry Woodson and Ford. Too big a glass I put it in. Makes it look like I gave you a really stingy thing, but I actually gave you extra. That's actually a reasonably big glass, that one. It's good. All right. Approval has been given for the beverage. That's lucky. I'd have to hang up my bartender shingle if my cocktail got refused. Honest. I love this bottle. This is from the Gospel whiskey. It's probably not... I can see the embossing showing up on screen, actually. And it's like the Gospel. And on the side, embossed on the side of the bottle, is distilled and bottled in Melbourne, Australia, which is one of the reasons I kept it. I think it's kind of cool. Also, square bottle, kind of interesting, as opposed to the usual round bottles you get in Australia. So I go... Yeah, I do go through a lot of bottles. I was going to excuse myself, but I do go through a lot of bottles. Gecko got all this week off. Nice. And you got a tiny bottle of Bacardi. Well, what you should do, in my humble opinion, Gecko, is get yourself some lime and a little bit of sugar syrup and make yourself some daiquiris with that Bacardi. That's just my tip. And hello, Chris. Maybe I'm innocent. Maybe I'm not. Jeremy drinking 3 hogs whiskey. Just straight? That sounds nice. Gecko, do you prefer clear rum or dark rum? Drank a lot of Bacardi dark in 2005. It's more down to the character of the rum. Theoretically, darker rum has been aged longer in barrels, so kind of has more character. But I've got a white rum over there that has a huge amount of characters, very, very nice fruity elements to it. Whereas some white rums basically taste like vodka. Okay, so it was tiny. It was the tiny ones. Okay, it's gone. Chris, so shocking news. You have a small dusting of snow. So your entire city's locked down. People losing their minds. Damn. That's what would happen. It has snowed once or that's Mimsy at the door because Mrs. Angry in here, aka the food lady. So Mimsy thinks she may be missing out on something. So she has to come in. She has classic FOMO, fear of missing out. You're such a pain, Mimsy, honestly. Okay, so Jeremy, you have whiskey neat. Personally, for me, particularly when I'm tasting a new whiskey or when I'm comparing whiskies, because I have several whiskies, I'm not actually sure how many I have at the moment. Let's count. Because I finished 1 or 2 bottles recently, but I have different whiskies. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, only 9. I have at different times had up to 12 whiskies there. Currently, I have 9 whiskies there. And when I'm doing comparisons, I like to do a little sip just neat at room temperature. But then I like to put a little bit of ice in it. Some people use water, chilled water, because just that little bit of water tends to open up flavors and slightly change the experience. So I like to do that. And then I like to make cocktails with them. That's why I've got them, for cocktails. Gecko, you're getting cold in Dallas. We are getting a heat wave starting tomorrow, moving up through the 30s Celsius. So gradually ratcheting up to 100 freedom units of temperature in the next couple of days. We are going to have a very warm New Year's Eve, basically. And that's going to be after several warm days. So, Chris, you're used to feet of snow, so a dusting is hilarious to you. Oh, yeah. Okay. Gecko, you noticed at first I got the recalcitrant lights working. You know what I did? I friggin' shook them. And it wasn't even intentional at first. I was getting the other ones ready and they were all just kind of tangled. And I shook them and the lights flickered. And I went, don't you mock me. And I shook it again and they flickered some more. And I was like, what? Is that going to work? And I shook them for like a minute or so and they just started working. And I was like, this is just bullshit. So the wiring in them is obviously screwed. But I don't know exactly where. But yeah, I got them working accidentally. So yeah. So enjoy your cold weather. We are about to have our first heat wave of the summer. Other cities have already had heat blasts. We haven't. We have had an atypically temperate and wet summer so far. But we about to get one of those Melbourne benders, 3-4 days in a row, really hot. A hot New Year's Eve makes people go crazy, actually. I think a hot New Year's Eve after a couple of hot days is actually quite dangerous. I shall be staying inside, battening down the hatches. I was going to have guests over, but I'm wussing out because of the outrageous spiraling of Omicron COVID variant, and having read that my 2 4-month-old AstraZeneca doses probably provide really shitty protection against Omicron. And it's still 2 weeks till I get my booster. So 3-4 weeks till I can feel a bit more confident, quite honestly. So it may be wussy, but I am retiring from public life for about a month. Not going out. And I did have plans to have people over for New Year's Eve, and I have cancelled that basically because it just seems like a bad idea. And Robert Man Greg, good evening, sir. You're staying indoors too? Good move. Gecko, we probably have exactly the same Christmas music that you have. The only different one is Gravy Day, 21st of December. Paul Kelly. A song that I quite like. Some people don't like it. I like it. It's a guy writing a letter home to his family because he's in prison, and he's talking about traditionally he used to make the family gravy at a big family Christmas lunch, and who's going to make the gravy because he's in prison. I like it, but basically we have exactly the same Christmas music as you. So yeah. Although there was that terrible Rolf Harris song from the 70s or 80s called 6 White Boomers or something. It's like Santa Claus used white kangaroos to pull his sleigh in Australia. It's terrible. It's also Rolf Harris, who's also terrible. He's like Rolf Harris, and then you find out he's a serial sexual predator who groped and molested young women for a period of decades. What a fucking creep. And then you get people whose defense of him was, but everyone did it. I mean, not a defense. Not a defense. Oh, the 70s was different. You could just do that. No, you couldn't. Still a crime. Still a crime. That's like the world's shittest defense. Oh, Rolf Harris sexually assaulted a series of women over a decade. Oh, yeah, but everyone was doing it. It's like, no, that is like the shittest defense ever. And some people thought that was a serious defense, which was ridiculous. So, Chris, Joe Biden had a COVID meeting. 500,000 people have been infected a day. Nothing we can do. State's problem. Went on vacation. My God, that sounds like Scott Morrison. I'm not joking. That's exactly what Scott Morrison did. State's problem. Going on holidays. Yes, Gecko. All the Christmas music is terrible. I'm not. Although Mrs. Angry and I had an at-home date night on Saturday night because we weren't going out, and it was Christmas anyway. But even Omicron probably would have stopped us going out, but it was Christmas. Came in with that, and so we had it at home. And there's a chill out music channel on the cable thing we have, and that's often what we have as the background for our dates. They had chill out versions of Christmas songs playing on set, and not bad. So there was, I mean, variable quality, but it was like chill out versions, like light jazz versions of Christmas songs. Some of them were not bad. Oh my God, Chris, you say Biden was pictured walking alone to a helicopter. Class act. Sleepy Joe. I fucking love how Trump supporters think anyone cares about their "Let's Go Brandon" thing. Just say it. Just say fuck Joe Biden. Because honestly, I'll say it. Fuck Joe Biden. Yes, he is better than Trump. That is possibly the lowest bar in all of history for how good a leader is this person. He is better than the sociopathic narcissist who is obviously a criminal and a serial sex offender. He's marginally better than that. That is like the most damning with the faintest of praise in all of history. Christopher, you're here. Yes, you are. All caps. Nice. Gecko, talk of white Christmas in America. Can't imagine being 100 plus in December. Yeah, I mean, we get all those dumb Christmas songs about snow and shit as well. I grew up in the country in Western New South Wales. It was always over 30 Celsius. I'm just going to do a bit of conversion into freedom units. Wait, convert units. I had to get a new one. No. I had to get a new one because the other one's gone. Temperature. Celsius. What the fuck? All clear. No. Oh, okay. Celsius. How does this thing fuck? Okay, Jesus Christ. Oh, God, it's a different app. Okay. So Celsius 30 to Fahrenheit. Okay. So the Christmases I was used to growing up were between 90 and 100 freedom units. That's how hot. That's what I was used to for Christmas. Normal Christmas was between 90 and 100 freedom units temperature-wise. Gecko, it is a big challenge. New Christmas music. I think the newest Christmas music I hear is either Wham doing Last Christmas or Mariah Carey doing All I Want for Christmas Is You. I think that's like the newest Christmas songs I hear. And they're both 30 or 40 years old. So, Chris, there was a huge lift-up truck stuck in dusting of snow. Had "Let's Go Brandon" on the back window in huge letters. Couldn't afford all-wheel drive. Oh, my God. Yeah, Gecko, that's the basic thing with Biden. He's not stirring up shit and not being a complete fucking lunatic every time he's in front of a camera. That's his saving grace. He's not a fucking lunatic. All right, I'm gonna put this back. I'm seeing. I think there's a bit of a party happening at Nettie's place tonight, and I didn't go because my aforementioned wussiness about COVID. Right? I think someone wants a cocktail. Oh, is that a written request?
No, it's just the list that we were given.
Okay. What are you picking off the list?
I remember the lemon one.
The lemon one.
I remember having like mint leaves or lime leaves.
You're going to have to ask Mimi about mint leaves. I don't know where mint leaves are. South side?
What does South side have?
Okay. I will tell you. I'll get a South side recipe up, which is a good drink. It's a gin-based drink.
You don't even remember it off the top of your head.
No, I'm a crappy bartender.
Surely you remember every single.
Okay, no, it's like a gin. So it's gin, lime, sugar syrup, and mint leaves. It's a very good drink.
Mint lime.
It's gin, lime juice, and sugar, and then you shake it with mint leaves, so you get a little bit of mintiness in it. So it's a really nice, light, simple drink. Okay.
Yes, because we will.
Is Mimi gonna get me some mint leaves? A dozen or so? Dozen, 15, whatevs. It is. It's got a decent, and I've just squeezed some fresh lime juice today, so you're getting fresh lime juice. Yes. So I'm making Southside for the offspring. So here we go.
Thank you very much.
Gecko, actually, his press secretary is not bad. Jen Psaki is a pretty good press secretary. It's a thankless job being press secretary for the United States president because they all do fucked up things. But she's actually pretty good. Gecko, your company Christmas party was fantastic. Went to lunch at a steakhouse, company paid for. White Elephant office, along with lots of giveaways. Dude, that sounds great. That sounds fantastic. I'm glad you had a good office Christmas party. That sounds really good. All right. I'm going to get a couple things ready to make this right. So, all right. I need a little clock. Oh, that's what I wanted. Bonus. All right. I was just getting little drinking receptacles for the offspring that not as flash as my drinking receptacles, but I don't want them breaking my glasses. So. All right. So which gin will I use for their drink? Tom's Pina Colada, probably. Okay, man. If I use it up, it's an excuse to buy another bottle of gin. All right. Starting to get this ready. Where's the cocktail shaker? And we are going to want to fine strain this because of the mint leaves. Getting everything together. Gonna make it. Oh, here we go. Get some fresh lime juice that I squeezed today. Sugar syrup. Which sugar syrup will I use for them? I think this coconut sugar syrup I made is probably a good one. All right. Chris, it's nice having your mum live with you. Nice. Oh, yeah, no. Having some family when you've missed them is great. All right, some mint leaves. Just whack them in there. Going to use some... Oh, I love the smell of mint. I'm going to use some ice to pulverize them. Not even going to bother to muddle them. The ice will pulverize them a fair bit. All right, my jigger. No, I won't even bother rinsing it. It'll be fine. Right, so... I'm thinking... Sorry. I've worked out, I don't know if it's a permanent thing, but there's a supermarket chain here. The supermarket chains have attached bottle shops usually, and the outlets in the city. This one, the Woolworths one, for Australians watching, for Melbourne people watching it, the city Woolworths bottle shops have these Australian gins at like a third off. Twice in the last couple of months I've been in there, and it's like, oh yeah, Australian gins, it's great. Which is where I got this one, Poor Tom's Pina Colada gin. There's still a fair bit of it. Okay, so we have gin, we have mint, we have lime juice, 75 mil. Okay. Making 3 cocktails. So, and sugar syrup, 45 mils sugar syrup. Let's go, Brandon. Sorry, no, I've got that stuck in my head. I'm probably just going to randomly say, people are going to think I'm a mad Trump supporter as I randomly say, let's go, Brandon, during the stream. Can't believe people try to make a big deal over that. It's so fucking dumb. All right. Now some ice to chill it, dilute it, and pulverize that mint. Oh, that looks pretty good. Big old chunk of ice that's all stuck together. Maybe I should turn my microphone off when I do this because it's going to be really noisy. Someone might be wearing headphones. Hello, Toby on Facebook. Okay, it's not that loud, I decided. I'm just going to shake it over here. Okay, my thing with a metal shaker, you've with ice in it, you've shaken it enough when it's painfully cold to hold the metal. Okay, yeah, I don't want to hold that anymore. I think I've shaken it enough. All right, let's get some Southside cocktails happening. Trying to get them even because I made 3 at once. That looks pretty good to me. I think I got them pretty even. All right. It's interesting. Only a little bit of mint got through the fine strainer, caught it. Oh, is that a serving tray for the cocktails? There you go. Mrs. Angry's gonna. We could put a mint leaf on each of them. I think yeah, no, they're pretty messy. You could pick another mint leaf for each of them. Honestly, this is a classy household, is all I'm saying. When we say we're going to have cocktails, we go all in. Chris, you've got lots of video of everyone in your life. They hate it, but they love it, yeah. Yeah, well, Gecko, when you either shake or stir a cocktail, a decent amount of the ice melts. That's part of what you're doing. People assume the ice is just to chill the drink. Chilling is important, but the dilution is part of it. When people have worked out the ratios in a recipe, it also assumes a certain amount of dilution from the ice. So, yeah, the ice did melt a bit. Probably half melted. Probably half the ice turned into water and is added to the cocktail. But honestly, those look pretty good. So, and of course, if you serve a cocktail with ice, it does actually dilute more over the time you drink it, which is not always a bad thing. It can actually be a nice part of the quality of the drink that it evolves somewhat over the time you drink it. So, but big bits of ice melt more slowly than little bits of ice. So that's why I like big bits of ice. I think like I might drink some water after, because that was like I just free poured a pre-mix old fashioned there. Drinking double. Ooh, I'd taste this south side. Yep, that's pretty gosh darn good, the old south side. Really simple. It's basically a gin sour shaken with mint leaves. So you get the mintiness in there. So gin, lime juice, sugar syrup, and mint leaves. So really nice, bright, light, refreshing drink, as opposed to this, the rum old fashioned, which is a nice, rich, heavy drink. Definitely wouldn't call an old fashioned a light drink. Tends to be pretty serious with the spirit flavors, an old fashioned. So, but variety is the spice of life. At least that's what I like to say. So I'm, yeah, I'm going to finish this. Then I'm going to drink some water. Then I think I'll have a martini. I want to shoot a little bit of video for my. I started to pre-make a Swedish punch, and also I'm going to explain about my aging barrel, which I had water in for 3 days and it didn't leak. So I'm quite sure it doesn't have any leaks. So now I'm going to put some fortified wine in it to season the wood, basically to get the flavor in the wood. Leave it. I have not yet decided exactly how long. Somewhere between 2 and 4 weeks, I'm going to leave it. And then I think I will age a cocktail in the barrel. Maybe something like a Boulevardier, something very spirit forward anyway. Gecko, you've got a cat meowing at your door problem. Quick peek at your Twitter. All right, now I feel compelled to check your Twitter. Where are we? Okay. Oh, wait, what am I looking at here? So checking. I see. Sorry, Gecko said to check his Twitter about how to stop the cat meowing. He's cut a hole in his door so the cat can just come in. Yeah, I actually leave the bedroom door open a little bit. Have like a door stopper so it doesn't go wide open, but just wide enough for the cat to go in and out, because it's too much grief otherwise. And we have a cat door on the exterior door so they can go in and out whenever, in and out of the house. Right. Yep. No, that was definitely a double, because I can feel it. It's like, oh, I just finished one drink and I can feel it. Yeah, pretty sure I poured myself a double, which is to say a double cocktail which is to say 4 shots of rum. 3 or 4 shots. I reckon that drink I just had, 3 or 4 standard drinks. So like 3 or 4 shots of rum. Because, I mean, I'm, again, not even half Tim Smith, but I can feel it. Right, so let me just get some water while I'm at it. Because I'm trying to be a good boy. But also, maybe have a couple of drinks tonight. I do have work tomorrow. Just stay hydrated. Stay hydrated, kids. And despite semi-regular jokes, that is not a vodka dispenser. Because I would have a gin dispenser. But it is just water. It's just water. So just having a little hydrating H2O. That's pretty good. Yes, I like that. Greg, yeah, I am going to live stream on New Year's because I'm just going to be at home. I am not going out. I am not going out on New Year's Eve. So I will be doing a stream. All things being equal, actually, we haven't seen Stella in forever. Last 2 New Year's Eve, I've stayed up to 3 a.m. because Stella was in Western Australia and we're staying up for her midnight. But haven't seen her for ages, so I'm not really sure what's happening with her. So we'll see. But I'm definitely doing a New Year's Eve live stream because I am not going out. Gecko, you got to visit the dentist. Going to have teeth pulled. Yep, I am. I have a dentist appointment on the 10th of January. It's a gum cleaning thing. Actually, it's a follow-up on my last gum cleaning to see if I've been taking care. And I think I have. Not sure. Oh, yes, Greg, something for you to watch at home. Yes, something to interact with for anyone who's up for it. And we'll see how it goes. I'm not sure when I will start because I'm planning to go long. I'll start sometime between 8 and 10. I'll decide actually probably on the night. I'll decide closer to the day. I will actually probably decide on the night when I start. I am really disappointed. Like, I really had fun plans for having people over on New Year's Eve, but I just felt I couldn't in good conscience do that. So I cancelled that, which I'm a little bit in 2 months about, but no, I think it's the right thing to do, as much as it fucking shits me, quite honestly. But I hope people can join on the stream and actually come on and do Angry Bunch and stuff. So Gecko, when you're the poster child for bad teeth. Dentist said it can't be that bad. Then she's like, oh no, you're pretty bad. Okay. I was quite bad 10 years ago, 20 years ago. I progressively got a bit braver and let the dentist do a bunch of stuff. So the teeth situation is better now than it used to be. Although, yes, the periodontist is like, oh, we've got to fucking savage your gums because you've let some gum disease develop. So we've got to cut it all out. So the whole thing is checking to see if it started to heal, which it hopefully has. It feels like it has. Ah, that's interesting, Greg. They're not doing the rooftop fireworks in Melbourne CBD again, but the rooftop fireworks areas are silent. See, I was sort of tempted to go to Nettie's place, just her building you could go up on the roof of, and if there were fireworks or whatevs. But yeah, like I said, just in good conscience, I can't do it. Because not to put too fine a point on it, my age and my weight, if I get COVID, I'm at pretty high risk of complications. Okay, was ist CBD, Central Business District? That's what we refer to as the city centre in Australia. So we're not referring to cannabinoids there. We are referring to the Central Business District, which is the city centre. I think we're the only ones who do that. I'm not sure. Yep, I'm steering clear of the city. Downtown. Yeah, Gecko, it's downtown. Not going out to movies or restaurants for a while. Not visiting anyone or having visitors for a while. So I'm just erring on the side of caution because honestly, I'm at reasonably high risk at the moment. And it's going to be 3-4 weeks till I can relax, really. And even then, it's like, who knows? But in about 2 weeks, I'm going to get Moderna. Although, I've got a booking for the 10th of January, but they're changing the rules on the 3rd or 4th of January, which means I'm eligible then. The 10th was the first date I was eligible, but then they're changing. So but seriously, if I walk past a chemist or something that's got a sign saying they do vaccinations, I'm just going to rock in and say, are you busy? Are you booked out for the vaccinations? Can I get a Moderna booster now? And if they say, no, we're overbooked, it's like, cool. But if they say, oh, yeah, a bunch of people didn't come, because that was my experience getting it done in a chemist. A bunch of people don't show up. Yeah. Gecko, you saw Matrix Resurrection? First cinema in 2 years? Miss going with your mum? I can imagine that, man. But I hope you enjoyed the time you did go there. I went to see my first movie in a while, at least 6 months. I saw Dune. And then everything got way worse here with COVID, and so I don't want to go to the movies anymore. But I did see Dune in the cinema and enjoyed it. That was pretty good. It only took me 10 minutes to drink the water. I think it was pretty responsible. It took me half an hour to drink the rum, but only 10 minutes to drink the water. I think that makes me responsible. I think that's what that means. Chris, you left The Matrix. I hear basically pretty good things about The Matrix. I like Dune. I hear pretty good things about the Spider-Man movie too. Trying hard to avoid spoilers, but I'm probably not going to the movies for ages. So I'm going to end up seeing spoilers. C'est la vie, as the French say. And that is how they say it. Don't contradict me. I am still feeling that rum old-fashioned, actually, but fuck it, man. I'm having a martini. Because I can. Right. Get a martini glass. Because I'm a classy motherfucker. And I got some more lemons. So I'm going to do another lemon peel twist. Because I can. Who's going to stop me? You? I don't think so. Right. Just going to go get me a lemon. That's pretty wild. That's pretty strange. Have you ever seen a jellyfish? That shit's crazy. Greg, I do recommend seeing Dune on the big screen. It's freaking awesome. I still kind of want to see it in IMAX, actually. I think that would be cool. Good job, Denis Villeneuve, though. Right. Freezer martini. Nice pop. Thank you, Freezer Martini, for bringing the pop. I enjoyed that. Right. All right. Oh, and this will be slightly different to the last one I had because I refilled it. Michael Keaton's back as Batman. All right. Bit of lemon peel will be my garnish for this martini. Oils. Smear some oils around the rim so we just get that nice lemon aromatics when we take a sip. Drop that in there because I can't be bothered doing anything more than that. And martini. Oh, fuck yeah. Oh my God. Okay, so the last gin I topped it up with has softened it a little bit. Man, that is nice. Gecko, Keaton's your favorite Batman? You know who I honestly think is an underrated Batman, but was in a shitty Batman movie, was George Clooney. I thought George Clooney was a good Batman in a shitty Batman movie. I was never that keen on Keaton as Batman. I don't hate the Keaton movies, but I was not that keen on them. I do like Christian Bale as Batman, even though his gruff voice is kind of silly. What are you doing? It's like, dude, just clear your throat before you talk. Just cough, get the phlegm out and talk. And I think Affleck was a pretty good Batman, honestly. He was an older Batman. And I think he was pretty good. I will be very interested to see Robert Pattinson as the Batman. Because I think Robert Pattinson is very underrated as an actor. He was kind of cursed by the those dumb sparkly vampire movies, Twilight, but he didn't let that bother him, and he just did a bunch of really different stuff. I'm quite looking forward to seeing him as Batman. I think he has potential, so we shall see. The Offspring are gaming in the next room. So fuck, that's good. Oh, okay. I love doing an infinity freezer martini because it's just constantly developing and mutating. And this particular mutation is really good. Right, Wella dude, how you doing? You played a little bit of Five Nights at Freddy's. Oh my God, you're playing Five Nights at Freddy's VR. I think I would get traumatized by Five Nights at Freddy's VR. The jump scares in that, like, no, that might be a bit much. I have to admit, I haven't done VR for a while, like literally for years. And last time it was at some center that had VR machines, and I was there with friends. So they were doing things like I'm playing some zombie VR game. So I got things on, and I got things that are like zombies, and friends of mine were watching. So just to fuck with me, they were watching the screen, and when a zombie lunged at me on the screen, they would actually grab me physically. Because that's what my friends are like. Fucking with me. But it was good. It was good fun. But yes, I think a Five Nights at Freddy's VR game might fuck with me. Now, I have to admit, I'm really pissed off at not having people over on New Year's. I think it's the right thing to do, but fuck COVID, man. I mean, and again, on the scale of shit things happening because of COVID, not having friends over is way down the list. But I was really looking forward to it. And I just thought of it again because having this, I would like to share this drink with friends. It's great. Yeah, Gecko, no, the next Batman movie, which is coming out in 2022, I think it's called The Batman, coming out sometime in the next couple of months. I'll look it up for fun. The Batman is going to release when? March. It's It's going to release somewhere around March. They just put another trailer up for it online. So yes, new Batman movie with a new Batman in around March. Asterisk, unless COVID fucks everything up again. Gecko, you're recommending a Portal Stream Workshop Office Prank Pass 1, 2, and 3. Gecko, no, you are incorrect. It is possible Michael Keaton is in that film, having passed the mantle to someone else, because that happened in the comics. But the Batman in this movie is Robert Pattinson. Micro USB, hello, sexy young man. How you doing? Nice to see you. I hope Chrissy was good to you. Oh. But yeah, you know, they all try to keep secrets. I have to admit, I liked... I haven't watched all of it, but there's that Titans series on Netflix, which is like a gritty version of the Teen Titans animation. And I broadly like it, but I haven't watched all of it. In fact, I've only watched the first season and a half. I think there's 3 seasons of it. But there's a fun thing with the Robin in that is Dick Grayson, who got the shits with Bruce Wayne and left him. And so then Bruce got another Robin who's a fucking psychopath. But there was a great bit where Dick goes back to Wayne Manor and he's talking to this old man. And it was very easy to assume the old man he was talking to was Alfred. But it was Bruce. It was Bruce Wayne because, Dick had been Robin for well over a decade, if not 2 decades. And so Bruce had aged. It was a neat little twist. So Gecko, okay. Keaton's Batman in the Flash movie and the Batgirl movie, and he's in Morbius. Okay, that's interesting. Micro, Christmas sucked. Could have been worse. I'm being grateful for what you did, Av. Yeah. Oh, dude, so tired, can never sleep. I feel bad for you. No sleep is bad. No sleep fucks up everything else in your life. I've not been having fantastic sleep for a couple of nights, but I think generally my sleep is better, and so my outlook on life is better since I got a CPAP machine. You probably don't need a CPAP machine. You're a healthy young man, or I'm a fat middle-aged man, and I absolutely needed one because I was snoring really badly. So now Mrs. Angry doesn't get me snoring anymore because I have this thing forcing air up my nose that stops my throat from closing up so I don't snore. Yes, she has noted I'm less grumpy. Like even after like a Friday night stream where I stay up really late drinking and don't sleep much, she says I'm far less grumpy. I used to be, if I was a little bit sleep deprived, I would be grumpy, which is bad that I was like that. And she was too nice to really make a big thing of it. She just said, when my mood improved, you're not as grumpy as you used to be. So she's very nice, is what I'm saying. Gecko, I also think it's interesting what DC have done with Flash in the multiverse, because they had, there's a guy who's been Flash in the recent DC movies. There was a Flash TV series. There was like a different storyline and a different actor. And they had a multiverse storyline in those DC shows. So the guy who plays Flash in the movies ended up in one of those multiverse crossovers in the TV show, which I thought was interesting. Gecko, you can't believe I'm on CPAP. Oh, dude, I fucking needed to be on CPAP. When they did the sleep test to me, I was fucking stopping breathing 35 times an hour, which is bad. Now Now I do CPAP, and it tells me how often I stop breathing during the night, and it's only between 1 and 4 times an hour, as opposed to 35 times an hour. So it's a huge improvement, because although they can't really quantify it, there is a lot of medical thought that sleep apnea, they're not breathing, has a whole spectrum of health complications. Micro. Oh, okay. If you feel like you're drinking too much, yeah, too much drinking can affect sleep patterns really badly. So that's why, I mean, I only have one night a week where I sort of fucking go off the deep end, and that's, like Friday nights, the Friday night party stream. And even that, I moderate more than I used to. And I'll have a couple of drinks on other, like tonight, having a couple of drinks. But if you feel like you need to moderate your drinking, you probably do, and it's very good on your part to recognize it. Gecko, you're drinking your hours off because you don't have to work. Yeah, when you don't have to work, man. Who knows what's going to happen? I have 2 weeks off coming up. I'm having a couple of drinks tonight, even though I'm working tomorrow. But we'll see. We're going to have a confab with my team tomorrow because I'm working in cybersecurity. And there's a big exploit at the moment, Log4j, which we're worried about. Got to catch up with everyone and go, hey, what's our current status? What do we have to chase? What is still questionable in the network? Whose nipples do I have to attach electrodes to? That type of thing. That's it, Micro. When you think the drinking is a habit and not to make a special occasion and fun, no bueno. No bueno at all. Gecko, confab is just a talk. And yes, Log4j is a clusterfuck. Everyone's going, oh, this could be the worst security exploit in at least 10 years. And it's like, okay. So I wasn't going to be at work this week, but the boss said, yeah, can you come in Wednesday to Friday just so we can assess where we are with Log4j, and then maybe have 2 weeks off after that. So it's cool. So I'm going to catch up with the team tomorrow. A little chin wag, a tate-a-tate. What are we up to? Who do we have to chase? Is anything gone seriously wrong? And take it from there, really. So it's often my job to chase people down. If it's like, no, there's a problem. Okay, I've got to get those people. No. In a normal world, it would be getting them into a room and saying, hey, what's happening? These days, because we're all working from home, it's getting them on fucking Microsoft Teams and saying, hey, how's it going? Look, we need you to do this thing. Are you doing this thing that we need you to do? Because we really want you to do this thing. Chris, no one's going into the office. They just reintroduced masks in all indoor settings here, including the office. So only people who have to seriously look after the infrastructure are in the office. And they're probably not wearing a mask because there's no one else there. So who's going to fucking bust them? There's like 1 or 2 people who'll be in there. So ain't no one going to be in the office because they introduced masks indoors again. So was it Micro? At least Drunk You was smart enough, left everything you needed for work where you could find it. Nice. Thanks, Drunk Micro. Excellent work. Oh, dear. So, yes, I will be chasing people on email and potentially Microsoft Teams for the next couple of days until Friday. And then, unless there is a fucking disaster, do I have mountains? No, I have a 2-story house. There's a 2-story house just there. So you can see a bit of light there because that's the edge of the 2-story house. All here, 2-story house blocking out the sun. Tiny bit of sun there. Although we are past sunset, I think, but there's still a bit of light. But the 2-story house is blocking out most of it. If I put my head here, it's totally dark. Oh! Oh. So might do a few little bits of video of my projects. One is my what do we call it? Swedish punch. And the other one is my aging barrel, which I'm going to put some fortified wine in. It's actually funny how far away I am from mountains. If I'm in the office in the city on a high enough floor, on a clear enough day, I can see some hills that pass for mountains. They're known as the Dandenongs, and they're a long way away, but on a clear day, I can see them. Whereas Sydney, just west of Sydney, is the highest mountain range in Australia, which again, very old mountain range. So it's very worn down and smooth in geological terms. So they're not that high. But yeah, the Dandenongs. How's the south side?
That was really good.
That's a good drink, that one.
It's like sweet, not
Yeah.
like super alcoholic taste.
No.
That was good.
It's a nice light, fresh drink, the south side. I like it.
I agree.
You're voting for anything else, or
Yes.
Oh, right.
So, absolutely. We want to try the zombie?
Okay.
Yeah, dude.
You know, the short version of a zombie is just like chuck all your rums and all your fruit juices into something and shake it up and pour it out, and that's a zombie. And I've got a lot of rums, so no, I'm not going to put all of them. I'll use about 3 different rums, and I'll use a few different fruit juices, and I'll do a mega zombie, and I'll bring it out. Yeah. All right.
Thanks so much.
So I'm making a zombie for the offspring in the next room. So yeah. Why not? Why not indeed? All right. All right. For a laugh, I'm going to look up an official zombie recipe. So yeah, you had a service call via email. We had a power failure. We can't access cameras via iPad. Checked on company iPhone as a normal. Called them, asked, is your iPad on cell or Wi-Fi? And they said Wi-Fi's offline. Well, there you go. Megalith, you've been looking into Light and Easy when you're on to Optifast meal replacements. Taz has limited options. I would absolutely recommend the microwave meals for Light and Easy. This is pure Aussie talk now. They have 3 or 4 different options. They have the dinner ones, which are large, but they have kind of snacky ones, and there's a few different versions, meal in a box, which are good for lunch and whatnot. Megalith, I would thoroughly explore getting some of their different sized microwave meals and just like keeping them in the freezer. So whenever you want to, when you're feeling lazy, you just whip one out and chuck it in the microwave. Because seriously, their microwave meals are fucking great. They make really good sauces and really good gravies. Like anything like pasta and sauce is good. Anything with a gravy is going to be good. It sounds shit, like frozen meals, frozen diet meals sounds shit. But Light and Easy's microwave meals are actually really good. Gecko, you like chicken pot pie? I think Light and Easy do a chicken pot pie, actually. Anyway, so for a laugh, I am going to look up a zombie recipe. I've got that song in my head. Zombie, zombie, zombie. So, yeah, rum, falernum, anise, pineapple, lime, grenadine. Fuck yeah, okay, I'm going to make the offspring fucking zombie. Okay, I just need to, because this is fucking full of mint, so I just need to get... Actually, you know what? That wouldn't be terrible. I'm actually going to leave the mint in there. That would not be terrible. I'm actually leaving the mint in. That is definitely not traditional, but I'm a wild and crazy guy, is what I'm saying. All right, so we're going to get some white rum, some dark rum, and some overproof rum. Bricks white rum, Inner Circle overproof rum, and maybe Appleton for the standard rum. They've asked for a zombie. The next one. I'm gonna make him a zombie.
Classic.
And it's like, yeah, short version of the zombie. All your rums and all your fruit juices, chuck them together, and that's a zombie. Mind you, that's every single tiki drink. Every single tiki drink is just chuck a bunch of rum and a bunch of fruit juice and shake it up, and that's tiki drink. Appleton. All right, I'm gonna put some Appleton rum in as well. Right, you bloody well right. What juices does it recommend? Pineapple, that makes sense. Lime. Don't have grapefruit juice, but we don't need it. I will put some grenadine in. Oh yeah, I think I'll put some falernum, and just for shits and giggles, it says some anise liqueur. So for some shits and giggles, I think I'll put a splash of absinthe in. Where is my falernum? There it is. Golden falernum. What is my absinthe? I've been moving stuff around on the shelves here, so and I don't use absinthe that often because it's pretty intense. Oh, here it is. Found it. So I'll put a little bit of that in. Right. Yeah, I'm just got to put it in the same little things for them. Right. So, all right. So I want to get some pineapple juice. I think I've got some here. And wait. Oh God, which one's? This is the grenadine. Grenadine. Lime juice. Yeah, fuck it. That's okay. That'll do. Okay, so for a standard drink, man, that's actually Jesus Christ. Sorry, I'm looking at this standard recipe for a zombie, and it's going 1 ounce of overproof pot still rum, 45 mils, so 1.5 ounces of white rum, then 20 mils of overproof aged rum. My God, that will kill you. I'm seriously not putting that much rum in this one. I'm not trying to kill the offspring. That's what I'm saying. Right. So, jigger. 45 mils. So, put that much in, I think. Oh, what? Man, this is made in Sydney. Bricks. They make good rums. That's really good. All right. So, I am not putting that much overproof rum in. My God, that is crazy. Right, put some overproof rum in, and put some Appleton Estate rum in. Seriously, this one's gonna fuck them up. A zombie will fuck you up. A bit more. Zombie will fuck you up, man. And falernum. Okay, where's my falernum? Put a bit of falernum in there. Okay, falernum. And just a splash of absinthe. I think we want just a splash of absinthe. Yeah. Just a teeny tiny bit. Teeny tiny bit. Yep, just a teeny tiny bit of absinthe in there. And all right. So, I swear I got some pineapple juice out. Did I get the pineapple juice out? Yeah, I got the pineapple juice out. Where did I put it? I'm finding myself easily distracted. Oh, there it is. It's behind my microphone. Shake it up. Ooh, that's okay. Mrs. Angry's looking after them, that's using edible flowers as a garnish, which is pretty goddamn classy. My God, my jigger is getting so full. There is so much in this. Lime juice. And grenadine. Where's my grenadine? I need to make some fresh grenadine, but this one's still okay. How much were they saying? Okay. I'll do a little bit more grenadine, make it a bit sweeter for them. And I think that's everything I want to put in. I'm just going to chuck in some ice. I left the mint in. I thought that would be... It's not completely traditional for a zombie, but I thought it would be a nice touch. Ice. All the ice is stuck together. That's fine. All right. There you go. I couldn't put the top on because of the big lump of ice. Let's shake that. All right, it's a pretty goddamn serious drink I'm dealing out here. But it's Christmas. It's the holiday season. We'll fine strain this. I'm just going to be off camera for a second as I strain this into some little drinking receptacle. Oh, shoozer. Wow, this is a much bigger drink than the last one. Tell them to sip this one.
Oh, what's all coming?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, it's about twice as big as the last drink I made for them. So I made a bit of a mess, but that's okay. Oh. Honestly, when we do things in the angry household, we do them the whole way. Oh, good Lord. I think I missed a whole bunch of chat while I was making those, so I'm just going to let that slide. Because I spilled some, you're going to clean up the serving tray. Taste that. Yeah, pour it into the drinks. Oof. Yes, definitely the warning with this one is sip it, don't scull it. But again, Mrs. Angry made them look very classy by putting nasturtiums on them, edible flowers. Very cool. So I'm going to take a little sippy sip. Oh, okay. So that's my martini gone. I just realized I was going to record a little bit of video. Gecko, does StreamYard integrate with Telegram or Discord? I do not know, actually, off the top of my head. Sure, you could do a quick Google search and find that out. They restream to a number of platforms. I'm not sure if Telegram or Discord are on the list. Now I've got shit everywhere. I should put it back. Okay. Put all the rums back. Appleton. Okay, putting stuff back. This one's going here. Okay, and bricks, rum. Putting that in there. And put my absinthe back. Goes in here. All right. All right, if you'll excuse me for a second, I'm going to have a little toilet break. I'll be back in a minute. It's pretty serious.
That makes sense. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna play subscribe. All my TV. Whoa.
Oh, I'm back. Hopefully I was only gone a short time. All right. So Gecko and Micro USB seem to be talking tech stuff. Megaleech back to Electric being on Optifast, been craving hot sauce. Add a few drops. Veggies tonight. Forgot how hot the ghost pepper sauce is. Should only use one drop, feeling it. Oof. And the worst thing about the ghost pepper sauce is feeling it when it leaves the system as well. Oh, a bit of water. Got to put a few things away. Okay, I've got a bunch of stuff that's got to go back in the fridge, actually. Okay. Finally emptied that bottle of Advocate. Bunch of stuff I've got to put in the recycling bin tomorrow. Okay. Used up most of that pineapple juice, which is good. I'm going to put back my grenadine and my lime juice. And coconut sugar syrup. All my sugar syrups. All right, that's everything out of the way. All right. Yes, Megaleech is having a countdown to regret. So I'm just going to leave Micro USB and Gecko to your tech talk. I actually did order a sort of gaming capable laptop because I talked about how it might be fun for me to do some streams where I play games like and I love Red Dead Redemption. And this laptop, which I'm on, absolutely crapped itself when I tried to play Red Dead Redemption on it. Like, just did not happen. So I thought I'll treat myself. Post-Christmas sales, get a laptop that's on sale. Got young Ms. Angry's advice on the components. What would you like? Just water? Just water. Some of my offspring are more responsible than others, and some just want water. you want me to fill it up or? All right. This is going to take a while. It's not that fast. So I've made this joke before about Hank Hill from King of the Hill complaining about having a narrow urethra. The water dispenser on the fridge does not dispense it particularly quickly, but it gets there. And this is a big drinking receptacle. I bought a whole bunch of these from the supermarkets post Father's Day, stuff that had been marked, like Father's Day stuff. So it's really cheap after Father's Day. And now I make my offspring drink out of them. So I tell them they don't have a choice. They actually have to drink out of a drinking receptacle that says things like, "My dad rocks." And they're like, whatever. And we have fun, is what I'm saying. So, God, how can I use the water receptacle? Oh, it's only half empty. I'll still top it up. But I thought it might be very low, but it's only half empty. Yes, no, Mega Leech. I'm worried about the fridge getting kidney stones. I'm worried about the water distributor on the fridge getting kidney stones. That would be bad. All right, I need to get my audio recorder and just record a very few short bits of video that are prep stuff for. This is the concoctions in the kitchen stuff I do occasionally, where I mix stuff up. I'm just feeling I'm not Tim Smith yet, but I might be too drunk to do this coherently, but I'm willing to give it a go. So I'm just going to go and get my audio recorder and sorry, just doing that. And that goes there. Okay. I'll be back in a sec.
If you pick this one, I'll pick this one again. I have to ship as well.
Hey, yeah, come on. I just realized the lights are behind my computer screen here. This is my work desk, working from home. Bring the lights in front of it. Oh no, I fucking killed them. Oh, I hate myself. I hate myself so much. Come on, come back. Come back, you fuckers. Oh, I hate myself so much. Ah, it came back. It came back. Oh, phew. I was just having a big moment of self-loathing. I'm just going to use the app to change them a little bit. What's it on? Rachel. Yeah, okay, it's on what I want now. Ugh, I am filled with self-loathing. So if I'm back from dinner at a pub, I had a beer because you weren't driving. Well, that's nice. Yeah, no, Megaleech, it's ridiculous. That was percussive maintenance that actually fucking worked. Smart lights suck balls, Gecko. I fucking hate them. And it's ridiculous that I made them work by just shaking them. It's fucking ridiculous. But it worked. And it's stupid as hell. And I hate technology. I hate that the joke about switching it off and switching it back on works half the time. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. All right. I need to get a couple of my rums out. Get my Batavia Arak. I use Batavia Arak and Bundaberg Dark. Safa, I'm about half Tim Smithed at the moment, which means I can feel it. Oh! Half Tim Smithed. Sorry to subject you to that, but, you know, it is. Right. So, I am I'm going to talk about making Swedish punch. Bork, bork, bork. I have to admit, just because it's called Swedish punch, I channel the Muppets Swedish Chef, which I'm sure Swedish people hate, but also, you know, they're Swedish. Fuck them, honestly. So if your beer's wearing off, should you have a cruiser tonight? That's your choice, man. What have I had? I had a rum old fashioned, which I have in the fridge, pre-made rum old fashioned, and a freezer martini. I think that's all I've drunk. Both pretty strong though, so I'm half Tim Smithed at the moment. All right. Okay, Micro USB, you have a Swedish friend. They hate the Swedish Chef. I thought they might. Okay, I'm just going to do the thing myself. Some concoctions in the kitchen stuff. And I'm going to talk about making Swedish punch. Most people just say Swedish punch, but because it's spelt Punsch, and because I watched The Swedish Chef growing up, I feel compelled to call it Swedish punch. Fuck the Swedes if they get upset by it. The offspring are making a lot of noise in the next room, but that's okay. They're gaming, I think. They can do that. I won't let it bother me too much. All right, I'm going to turn some lights on and I'm going to talk about making Swedish punch. So I'll switch this up here. Nostril cam, so you still see me. Turn on some brighter lights. So you can see my beautiful face. Is it weird that after 15 years of making videos on YouTube, I'm still self-conscious about how I look on camera? But I am. That's just the way it is. That's just the way it is. Turn on my audio recorder. Come on, Zoom. This is like this recorder. My Zoom recorder is so fucking old. Don't know how long I've had it. All right. So I am going to talk about Swedish punch. All right. Swedish punch. Here we go. Sorry, I'm just going to go and check. It's got things like cinnamon, turmeric, ginger, nutmeg. G'day, oh Jesus, that was bad. G'day, cocktail lovers. The shirt should be a giveaway. It's time for another concoction in the kitchen. Also something that is going to take multiple days, so you will see more than one shirt. I am making some Swedish punch, or actually, because it's spelled Punsch and it's Swedish, I start channeling the Swedish Chef because I watched the Muppets a lot when I was a kid. So I want to call it Swedish punch because I believe the Swedes are enormous fans of the Swedish Chef. I believe they have no problems whatsoever with the Swedish chef. So while some people just refer to this as Swedish punch, I'm going to call it Swedish punch because that's just how we roll on Angry Cocktails. Very much I was inspired ever since I saw Uncle Pete from Uncle Pete's Cocktail Shop make Swedish punch. I wanted to make some. Also, because I have Batavia Arak. What that is essentially a rum, and it comes from Indonesia. When Indonesia was a Dutch colony, the Dutch called it Batavia. And I believe the base of this rum is rice rather than sugar. So it's different to other rums, has its own character. And this, to me, weirdly, Batavia Arak is ridiculously difficult to get in Australia. And I say ridiculously difficult because Indonesia is just our most immediate neighbor to the north. It is just north of Australia, but it is ridiculously difficult to get Batavia Arak. But I got some. This one is called By the Dutch. I think the reason it may be difficult to get Batavia Arak in Australia is because it doesn't come directly from Indonesia. It's initially made in Indonesia and it's aged and bottled in Holland. I think that might be the whole source of the problem. But anyway, I got one. This is a key element in Swedish punch, which again, Uncle Pete made sound super good. So I decided I had to make some. And I ended up making so much because the measurements were in cups and I didn't really assess how much that was. And I made probably twice as much as I intended. But I'm going to give you a basic recipe. I'll say it in parts, and I'll put a link in the description to a recipe that says a whole thing, and it tells you in cups. But if you follow in cups, you are going to end up with, well, I think the professional term is metric shit ton of Swedish punch. In simple terms, Swedish punch is 2 parts rum, 1 part Batavia Arak, 2 parts spiced tea, 2 parts sugar. So how I made it, I put in 2 cups of rum. I used a Bundaberg Black, a 12-year-old age rum. Use whatever rum you like. But basically, it's 2 parts rum. I used 2 cups, which ended up being way too much. And then 1 part Batavia Arak. Again, I used 1 cup. Was way too much. When you make the tea syrup, you have a lot of room to play with. You can make what you want. You want to use like a black tea and make it 50-50 tea and sugar. Mrs. Angry happens to be a bit of a tea aficionado, so she has some very interesting teas. I mixed up some different teas and they had all sorts of flavors. There was cinnamon and cardamom and chai and vanilla and turmeric. So I had a really richly flavored collection of teas in the tea I made. But in terms of the other parts, you want to get 2 parts tea. I made 2 cups of tea and then added 2 cups of sugar and dissolve the sugar into that to make a tea syrup. So you want that to cool down. So you make a tea syrup and put it aside to cool down. So with the rums and Batavia Arak, 2 parts rum, 1 part Batavia Arak, you want to slice up 2 lemons. If the lemon has seeds, take the seeds out. You don't want the bitterness. I actually had a seedless lemon when I made it. And also, because no one can tell me what to do, and I just break all the rules, I felt like adding some lime as well. So it was 2 lemons and 1 lime in my mix, sliced up, covered with the rum. 2 parts rum, 1 part Batavia Arak, and I left that for 6 hours. After 6 hours, I combined the rum mix with the sugar tea, super spicy, crazy syrup mix. And then you bottle that and you want to let that sit for at least 24 hours for the flavors to really permeate. And then you taste it. So in other words, I've done all that and I need to let it rest. And then I'm going to come back and I'll be wearing a different shirt when I taste it. All right. So what if I missed in the chat while I was doing that? I'm just going to switch the cameras off. Was that an exciting drunken rendition of what Swedish punch is, by the way? Micro, you're getting ready for work? Thanks for dropping in, man. Yeah, I mean, Gecko, I actually made it earlier in the day, so there's not much left in the bottles now I've made it. But anyway, Uncle Pete told me Swedish punch is delicious. It better be, because I made about 2 fucking liters of it, and I'm going to be drinking it for a while. Now I need to talk to the world about my aging barrel, my Christmas present, which I really like. This won't take as long. A minute or two of describing my aging barrel. Bark, bark, bark. Bark, bark, bark. Okay. G'day, cocktail lovers. It's time for another concoction in the kitchen. This one is going to take a super long time to finish. So I actually don't know how many times you'll see me in how many different shirts. The ultimate time to finish this will be somewhere between a couple of weeks and a month. But here is my favorite Christmas present, an aging barrel, a new oak barrel, little tap and everything. Mrs. Angry got me because it's what I wanted for Christmas. And I have to do shout out to Steve, the bartender, who gave me a link to a good supplier in Australia. Because when I was looking up barrels online, I was very sus about ordering it online because lots of people, they were ornaments, and you'd find out, oh, that looks like a barrel like I want. And then go, oh, it's lined with plastic. Your drink doesn't actually touch the wood. And go, no, I want the barrel to age the drink I'm making. So I found one. It's beautifully made. It's with new American oak, charred on the inside. They've done all the great coopering. It's got a little tap and everything. So the phases you need to go to when you get one of these new, first, make sure it's not going to leak. So I filled it with water a couple of days ago. And the instructions the website gave were quite meticulous. They said, use it for a couple of days. And they had a whole bunch of tips for if it continued to leak and whatnot. But this essentially has not been leaking. I had water in it for 3-4 days. It didn't leak. So it's ready for the next phase. Now, for me, the next phase is going to be essentially flavoring the wood, seasoning the wood, because you have a couple of options. Because, of course, the bourbon rules in the US is bourbon has to be aged in new oak. It can't have been used for anything else. So you could put a new make spirit in here, and incidentally, the same people who sell these sell new make spirit. So you could put a new make spirit in and make something in the style of bourbon. But what I am going to do, now I've established there are no leaks, I'm sorry, I was just going to lunge over, and I think I might have fallen over. Magic of editing. I am now going to fill this with a tawny, which is a port. The port is now a protected term, so the Australian makers who used to make port can't call their fortified wine port anymore. They call it a tawny. This is a tawny that the base was actually white grape varietals, but whatever. I'm going to season it by putting fortified wine in there. You could use sherry, port, or equivalents. I'm going to use tawny. I have not yet decided how long the fortified wine will stay in there. It's going to be somewhere between 2 and 4 weeks. And then I'm going to put it back into the bottle. There will probably have been some evaporation because I'm doing this in the Australian summer. And coincidentally, the week leading up after this, we're having a mini heat wave, 30 to 40 Celsius. For those who use freedom units for temperature, be between 90 and 100 Fahrenheit for much of the next week, which is going to probably cause some evaporation. But what I really want is for the fortified wine to permeate the wood and season the wood. And so then I'm going to add, I could do a spirit, but what I think I'm going to do first is a cocktail. I'm going to do a very spirit-forward cocktail, probably something along the lines of a Boulevardier, a whiskey-based cocktail. But I have a couple of weeks to decide. So next time you see me, the fortified wine will have been seasoning the wood for somewhere between 2 and 4 weeks, and I will have made a decision about what I'm going to age in here next. All right, that's that. Put that back. Put it back, and I'm going to switch the camera off. Oof. All right, and then I'm going to turn off the bright lights because I think they're a bit bright. They're a little bit bright. All right. Oh, I need a funnel. Funnel sounds like a vaguely rude word, quite honestly. All right, I'm going to put these glasses out of the way so I don't break them because I really like my glassware and I don't want to break it. Right, so I get my cute little aging barrel, turn the tap off, got the little stand. I got a funnel and I'm going to put this fortified wine in there. Oh, all right. I'm going to sit down. There we go. Oh, Mega Leech, I made a sugar syrup out of the water. That when I was talking about the Batavia Iraq, I kind of should have mentioned that in that. The tea sugar syrup I made for the Swedish punch was made with barrel water. And the barrel water was coloured, so the water had taken on a bit of the barrel. So yes, as per your suggestion, I did use the barrel water. I used it to make a sugar syrup, which I put in the Swedish punch. Good call, Megaleech. When it gets to tasting, I should wear a Swedish chef's hat. Bork, bork, bork. Swedish people love it when you do that. All right, so I'm going to fill this motherfucker with fortified wine. Holds a litre. This bottle's only about 750 mils. So, it smells really good, actually. So what's interesting is this is going to probably going to evaporate a bit over the coming weeks and probably be a more intense taste. Sav, why do I dislike the Swedish? I don't. I'm just making jokes, man. It's just jokes. They're foreigners. Got to make fun of foreigners. So to fill it up, I've got this vintage plum wine. This is Angry Maid. That's sealed. That's a blueberry wine. This is Angry Maid. It's a vintage plum wine. And by vintage, I mean 30 years ago. So fuck knows what's going on with this now. I'm going to top up the barrel with this plum wine Mrs. Angry made. Because I'm a madman, basically. Oh, what happened? Oh, that must have been the cork. Yeah, the cork fell into this. Jesus. Like, it should be really interesting because I'm going to put this where it will be exposed to the weather in the coming week, which is going to be some quite extremes of weather, which should cause some evaporation, which should cause some intensity of flavor. Oh man, I'm going to have to filter this when it's done. Really missed a bit of cork. Wow, that took all of that. Didn't really expect it to. Okay, that's going to be pretty goddamn interesting, quite honestly. Tawny and homemade plum wine. All right. Put this bottle in recycling. Put the bung in the bung hole. Put the Tiny Bear Christmas gins back up here until I want them. This neat little bung to go in the bung hole. All right. Now, I'm going to let that fortified wine mature in there for 2 to 4 weeks. So again, the wine that comes out the other end should be very interesting, like should be extra fortified, essentially. Safa, are you a local or a foreigner? You're halfway. So you're a localaner or a foral. So yes, it's just jokes when I make jokes about the Swedes or the French or whatever. Just because it's fun. So yeah, all right. So that's. I'm probably taste the Swedish punch on Thursday night. I might find a cocktail recipe that calls for Swedish punch and make a cocktail on Thursday night. We shall see. Gecko, did I see your editing comment? Did you do the magic of editing? Yeah, well, I mean, I'm pre-recording that, so when I realize I have to do something different, I can edit. I'm also playing with a thing it's making videos for my cocktail channel that kind of sort of look like they're animation, but they're not really. The first of those should be live in a week or two. And the first couple are probably going to be really rudimentary as I work out what I'm doing. But that's the joy of YouTube. You can just fuck around and try things. And if the thing you tried doesn't work, you just go, oh, well, that didn't work. And Megalich, I haven't talked to Frankie for a while. But I think if I do this thing with my own editing software, it will be showing Frankie the exact sort of thing that I want him to do. So if he says, oh yeah, I'll do that, I'll give him a base thing to work off. So I think this experiment I'm doing will be a good guideline to Frankie if he's still keen to do some animation. I'll just say, like, this is the type of thing I was talking about. Do you want to have a go at fucking around with it? And if he says yes, I will give him some base material and he can go off and play with it. Gecko, are all furries animators? You seem to get a furry to animate it. It's like you're suggesting all furries are animators. But I did a really simple proof of concept messing about with my editing software today, trying to be productive with my time. It was a day off. I was going, okay, well, I don't have to work in the office. So why don't I pretend I have to work on my own stuff? So I fucked around with my editing software for a while and came together with a pretty decent proof of concept I showed it to Mrs. Angry and she liked it. I said, okay, so that's going to work. So now I'm going to shoot some stuff because it's also essentially going to be an invitation to people to collaborate, because the idea is going to be this pseudo animation, or maybe complete animation if someone wants to someone ends up wanting to do the animation for it. It's going to be an animation of me working in a fictional bar, and people come in and order drinks and I make them drinks. So instead of the same sort of standard cocktail making videos that virtually everyone does, where you talk to camera and say, hey, I'm going to make you a blah, blah, blah. Here's how we make it. We use these ingredients. We put them together like this. We shake or stir. We pour. There's your cocktail. I'm going to make these little stories where someone comes into the bar, the animated bar, and orders a drink, and we maybe have a bit of back and forth, and have a story going on. And it's a bit of a risk, might not work, but it would also set me apart from all the other cocktail channels on YouTube, because no one else is doing it. And being set apart from everyone else has a kind of equal chance of being a good and a bad thing. Could be a bad thing because everyone who's into cocktails might go, I don't want to see that. Could be a good thing because people go, oh, this is new and different. I do want to see that. So YouTube, there's like zero barrier to experimenting. So, and I haven't done any serious experimentation for a long time. So this will be a bit of experimentation. And I'm quite keen to see how people receive it, quite honestly. Giga, lots of furries are into drinking. Aren't we all, my friend? Aren't we all? So yeah, the other thing I had considered is finding animators on Fiverr or something like that. But if I have a couple of proof of concept things, then I would be able to very clearly show someone who may have some interest in doing some animation and say, hey, yeah, see, check this out. I just kind of hacked this together, but this is the type of thing I want. Do you think you could animate something like that? And how long would it take and how much would it cost to animate something like that? So I think if I do a few proof concept videos, it'll give me a lot of options to explore in the future. Like I say, it might come to nothing. Like it might be I play with it, I experiment, and people go, well, that sucked balls. That was terrible. Why would you? I don't want to see that. Why would you do that? And then I can just ditch it because YouTube lets you do that. So I'm not going to stress too much. I'm just going to play around. I'm going to experiment. I'm going to see what comes out of it. But it's one of those things, 50-50. It'll either work or it won't. It'll either succeed or it'll fail. And it's not a big deal either way. It's kind of like, oh, yeah, okay. I experimented. I took a risk. People liked it. So I'm going to do more of that. And I'm going to continue to develop it. Or I experimented and took a risk and did something weird. And people said, that's shit. I'm not interested in that. And so I went, oh, okay. That was worth it. I fucked around. I fucked around and found out. People didn't want it. What I'm hoping, of course, is I fuck around and find out that people say, yeah, I like that. I want more of that. And it would be kind of fun to be have something that sets me apart from all the other cocktail channels. I mean, my current plan is just I'm virtually working on a last man standing principle, because a shit ton of people started cocktail channels during COVID, or at least got serious about cocktail channels during COVID, and they're having trouble keeping it up. But I have a whole system worked out, and I am pretty good at just turning stuff over and keeping stuff going on a regular basis. So part of my strategy is just outlasting 75% of my competitors. The other part of my strategy is refining what I do and improving what I do, and coming up with my ultimate. Oh Jesus, no, Safa, not technically it's still COVID time. It is absolutely still COVID time. We do unfortunately have a succession of indicators that 2022 could be the worst part of the pandemic so far. It is very disturbing, the number of indicators we have that 2022 could be the worst. So it's also bedtime, so I'm not that vexed about yawning when it's bedtime. So it is very to me. It is very disturbing that 2022 could be the worst part of the pandemic so far. But there is a bunch of fucking indicators that point to that possibly being the case, which would be fucked, quite honestly. That would be seriously fucked. So, yeah. So Chris is saying CDC shortened quarantine time so people who are sick can go back to work and infect more. Oh, yeah. It's all die in the name of capitalism at the moment. It's the same here in Australia, particularly the conservative politicians saying, you know what? You should be willing to die in the name of capitalism. Capitalism, the system that's so good, you have to die to support it. And it's fucked, man. It is so fucked. Gecko, you're too drunk to continue. You need to get off. It's bedtime for me. I know it's very early morning for you, so you did well. I am going to retire for the evening. I think I did well. Slightly inebriated, about half Tim Smithed, made a couple of bits of video. I get to go to bed now. Tomorrow night is a chill night with Mrs. Angry, so I won't be doing a Wednesday night stream. We'll almost definitely be doing a Thursday night stream, and of course Friday night's New Year's Eve party stream for New Year's Eve, where I will be kind of sad the whole night that I didn't have people over, because that was always my plan, but now I'm paranoid about COVID, so I'm not. I still think it's the right choice, but it doesn't stop it giving me the shits, because it kind of gives me the shits. Anywho, so yes, I'll be off tomorrow night. Streams on Thursday, Friday. Safa, how Tim Smith would I be on state election night? Probably completely Tim Smithed, but that's a little way down the line. So we'll see what happens in 2022. So you'll take care. Hopefully we get to have a bit of fun later in the week. Thursday night, I will probably do an on-camera tasting of my Swedish punch and make some more dumb Swedish chef jokes. Because that's what I do, basically, make dumb jokes. And then Friday night, New Year's Eve, big old fucking party. Gecko, I'll explain Tim Smith on another live stream. Just means being pissed, basically. But you all take care. I am going to bed. I hope you all stay well, but I will say bye.